Hi, this is the Wrestling Dr. Hal Lee with Pro Wrestling Extra, and we're interviewing Irish Jack. Pleasure interviewing you. And I got a few questions I'd like to ask you.
Okay.
Number one, let's start off. You've been in the business how long?
About a good 6 years now. Started in 2006.
And you're from the South Boston area?
Yep, born and raised.
Is that the area you were trained in?
No, actually, I wanted to do training in 2006. Actually moved to Atlanta, and then I started in WA4 to train by Mr. Hughes, and started there, and then ventured down to Florida, and now I'm currently trained at Team 3D Academy.
Oh, that's great. You know, we're familiar with Devon, and now it's not Brother Ray, it's Bully Ray.
Yes.
And he plays the part great.
He is a bully.
Yes. I think everybody's aware of that. Now, let me ask you something. Now, you've been traveling around. We talked a little bit earlier, and you said you're up in the Virginia area, in the North Carolina area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you mention some names that you've worked in that area?
I worked Mikey, the big giant 5-year-old. But as far as names or big names, I had a tag match where I tagged with Devon for a show called Quest, based in Orlando. Okay. Wrestled Billy Gunn in Sanford. That was a tremendous match too. And just right at this point in my career, I'm trying to get my name out, wrestle in front of different crowds, get a feel for what different crowds are like and so forth, and how they react and all that stuff. So it's been a great experience. You're on the road, and nothing better than that, you know.
Oh yeah, it's like traveling with your best buddies. You get a chance to go out and put on a great show and give it everything you got, and then you get to go have a few beers afterwards.
Oh yeah, definitely. I travel with Mikey and Teddy Stigma and Eddie Graves, and those guys are, when you're on the road with them, it's really never a dull moment.
I can imagine. All right, let me ask you a little something about the business now.
Okay.
Promos have been an important part of wrestling. They're even more important back in the olden days when it was done ringside. I mean, you watch the old stuff out of Chicago ringside, and now what we're doing is the promos, they're turning over to you guys, and the guys have to be able to talk. I've seen some of your stuff. Did you learn promos just from being out there and doing them, or did you get with somebody and study them?
Yeah, I mean, at Team 3D Academy, they really emphasize more than anything on his promos, because, you know, tell the story of who, what, when, where, why, how. You know, you tell what you're going to do in the match, tell who you are, you know, who you fight against, you know, when, where, and so forth. And then when it comes to match time, you back up what you say in the promo. Now, as far as studying and all that, I'm watching a lot of Roddy Piper. His promos are just fantastic. I mean, I'm not sure if you can say half the stuff he said back then and get away with it in today's world, because everything's so politically correct. But his promos is something that I've definitely been watching and, you know, try to aspire to be like him. And the character of Irish Jack is, you know, me, it's pretty much kind of like Roddy Piper.
Well, good. Now, you mentioned stories. That's one of my pet peeves, is storylines. Mm-hmm. You know, when I came up, the storylines stayed the same because we traveled in a circle. So we were in the same towns every month. We hit the same towns. But you guys are able to get with so many different promoters, and a lot of times you can't run the same storylines. Mm-hmm. So is there a storyline that you said you weren't Mikey. Have you had a storyline that you've been able to carry further along and do more with it?
Well, with Mikey, the crowd really gets it right off the bat. The kids love Mikey because he's a big giant 5-year-old. It's something that the kids definitely relate to. Like, remember that movie, you ever see Jack with Robin Williams?
Oh, yeah.
That's who he is. So there's a connection between him and the fans. And as far as me, I'm the Irish drunken brawler from South Boston. So immediately, you know, I'm a heel. And, you know, we just play off of that. And, you know, if I have a match, you know, say West Virginia, the fans get it. They have a match in Ohio, the fans get it, and so forth. They don't know what's going on between West Virginia and Ohio because we're not really in the independent state what it used to be. It's not territory anymore.
Right.
You know, so.
So, is there anybody you're looking forward to work? Is there anybody you would really like a promoter to hook you up with? And
at this point, I really like wrestling. I mean, I like wrestling with people who are at my level, but to really progress is when you wrestle with veterans. People who've been in WWE or TNA and who've been somewhere in this business because they have so much to offer. like with the schools, Bubba and Devon have poured their knowledge to me, myself, and the students, and you just learn so much from there. When I tagged with Devon, I learned a lot more about working the crowd. When I had a match with Billy Gunn, we didn't do much in our match, but the crowd just ate it up. It's this different level that they're at, and you don't see, like, today is like, we don't have the territories, so we don't really get to wrestle the veterans. You go to school and then you just if you go straight to the top, you can. There's no like really working your craft as far as you can do any independence, but you're really not wrestling any veterans.
That's true. I appreciate you sitting down with me, and I want everybody to keep an eye out, because Irish Jack Hurley, is somebody rising in the business right now. Take a look at his matches. We will have him on Pro Wrestling Extra, what he's going to be doing tonight. What's not there, go ahead, check him out on YouTube. He's all over YouTube. He's a great wrestler and up and coming, and I thank him for being here with me.
Appreciate it. Thank you.